Okay guys, now I'm going to show you how to do some columns. So if we go to the foundation level, okay, you see now what has happened here is this side, we need to just make sure all our grid lines are cutting through all the levels. Okay, so we go back to foundation level, there we are. So now I want to create a column. So if you click on column, you'll see here in the properties tab, you have different types of columns, but these are the preset columns created by Revit Autodesk. So you can load in your own columns here. You go edit type and you go load. So once you've downloaded Revit, it has a Revit family template that you get with your Revit download. So in that template, you can go and find some columns. So let's just see if I can show you. Load. So mine is under favorites or not. Under English, I go to, let's say, South Africa. Structural framing is beams, steel, SA specific. Then you can go in here and say, I want oh, sorry, this is for columns. Columns, steel, SA specific. So if I would have said open for the structural framing, it would have said I can't do that because it's the wrong family. Okay, so if I go here, I can choose maybe this column, say open. Now it's going to give you all the different sizes. So let's say you want to import more than one. I'll click on that one, press Control on my keyboard, click again, and maybe that one. And say okay. Now it's going to load in all three of them, and I'll say okay. Now you can go here and you see these three has been added. So for this exercise, I'm going to do a concrete column. So this is the size 300 by 450. Let's say I do not want to use this column. I want a different size, maybe a square column, because currently all of them are rectangular. I'll just say edit, duplicate, and I will say 500 by 500. I'll make that 500. I'll make that one 500. So, okay. Now you can see that we want to place the column on the foundation level. So I want to click here. I don't want the depth. I want the height because I want to place it from foundation upwards to a level. It says here unconnected. What that means is the 2500, that's the height that my column is going to be from the top of the foundation level. But I want this to go to the roof above. So now that's been grayed out because the height is being, that dimension is being overwritten by the roof above. So now you can either click here. If I click there, it automatically snaps to the center of the grid line. Or I can go to the top here and say at grid intersection. If I click that, I can now go and highlight this. All the grids, you're going to see it's going to give me columns on grid C, D, and D1 from 1 to 5. So if I release this, all those columns pop up here. Now, before you press anything on your keyboard or mouse, go to the top and say finish. Then it's going to finish that command, but you are still in the command for your columns. Okay, so if I do that again at columns and I want to do that section and I want to do that portion as well, I just press Control and highlight that, and it adds that one column and maybe that column there, or that grid lines there, and I say finish. Okay, now we've added in those columns. So let's go and see how it looks in 3D. So you go to the top here, go to your default 3D view, and here it opens your 3D view. So it might look a bit not might not look good now, but what you can do is you go to the bottom, you say fine, your detail level. Here you don't want it on wireframe, maybe hidden lines. You want to save now, and you can see now now you are not able to see through the column. And here you can you can change it to shaded, or consistent colors, textures, or you can say realistic. But if it's in realistic, if you don't have a quick PC or laptop, it might lag as your file gets bigger. So I usually just work in hidden lines. So there you can see all your columns. If the level indicators and the grid lines bother you, you can go and say VV on your keyboard. And then you go to annotation categories, type in here grid, untick that box, type in level, and you untick that box and you say okay. Now you can just see your structural elements. Okay, so now if you go back to foundation, I'm going to go to isolated footing, click on it. Like I said previously, I'm just showing you where it is. That's why I click on it. You can create your own shortcuts on the keyboard. So you only have 2 footings at the moment. I'm going to edit this, duplicate. Let's just make this 2 meters by 2 meters by 450, which is very important. I actually forgot to mention that. Is always make sure you duplicate an existing footing or column or any element. I'm going to show you why I say that now. So let's say I've created this one. Just type in your dimensions. And I'm going to say apply and okay. Now this isolated footing you can place at the column. So the easiest way to do this is go to the top and say add columns. And I'm doing the same that I did previously. I'm going to highlight all the columns. You see it's highlighting all the columns. Release. All of the columns have bases. I say finish. There I've placed all my bases and I just press escape on my keyboard. Go to 3D. There you can see all your columns have bases now. Now I just want to show you something. Let's say you want to move this base lower and I want it lower by a meter. You go to the right on your properties tab, height, offset from level. So from this foundation level, I want it to go a meter lower. So if I say a meter lower, the base drops, but the column doesn't go with it. So just remember, don't move your base independently. Move your column. The reason I say that is your base is linked to your column. So if I click on the column and I say, yeah, this properties are a bit different. You have a base level, foundation, base offset is 0 currently. Top level is the roof above that we selected, and then top offset is just 0. Now let's say I want that base offset to be minus a meter, like we did previously with the base. And I say enter. What it says here, an attached structural foundation will be moved to the bottom of the column. That is what we want. So as soon as you move that column up or down, your base will automatically snap with that. So please do remember to not move your base level, but rather your column level. Okay. So now if we go back to foundation level, want to move these grids over. And I'll show you now what I said previously if you don't duplicate this base. So let's say I want a new column of base size. So I say edit type and I forget to duplicate this and I just say rename and I want it a meter by 450. Change that to a meter and I change that to a meter. What it's going to do now, it's going to overwrite any foundation or all the foundations in your project that was previously a 2 meter by 2 meter base. So you can do this if you know that all the bases needs to change from 2 meter by 2 meter to a 1 meter by 1 meter. But if you change this accidentally and you say okay, you can see here it's changed all those bases, which might be a problem if you wanted certain bases to remain the 2 by 2 meters. That's why I say if we just say Ctrl Z to undo, you must click on this base, edit type, say duplicate. Let's just make this 3 meters by 3 meters. Okay, I change that to 3, that one to 3. And I say okay. Now you see it's just changed this base. And if you want to change any other base, let's say on grid line 2, all of these bases must be 3 by 3. I'll click on this base and I go here and I literally change it like that. Or you can say match properties like you do in AutoCAD. MA, you see there's like a little brush that pop up next to my cursor. I'll click on this foundation. This is the foundation I want to use. And now you're going to click on, going click here, it updates that base. Or you can go here, select multiple, and I'll highlight the bases that I want to change. And I say finish. And there it's updated the bases for us. Okay. So I'll see you guys in the next video.